God's blessings, people of Hope. Well, today I want to talk about kind of a harder topic. I always get asked as a pastor, wouldn't it be easier if God peeled the heavens back and got rid of all the evil people? Or wouldn't it be easier if God put a mark on people so you know who was Christian and who wasn't? Or wouldn't it be easier if just the people that hurt you glowed in the dark? You think about those things, and shouldn't there be markers? And it's interesting because the Bible does talk about it. In Matthew 13, there's this parable of a guy who sows into a field, and his enemy comes and sows into the field weeds. And when they realize it, the workers say, well, should we pull the weeds up? Should we get rid of the weeds? And the owner says, no, don't do that yet, because you're going to hurt good wheat while you're going after the bad weeds, because you can't tell the difference. And do you know what? That's hard to hear as a Christian. We live in a world where we want to turn around and say, that's good. And that's a weed. That needs to stay and he needs to go. She's a blessing and she's a curse. And God says, you don't know. You don't know their story. You don't know what God is doing through their lives. Joseph's brothers are the bad guys. But Joseph loves them at the end of Genesis and says, you meant it for evil, but God worked it for good. Moses killed a guy and ran away, and God calls him back late in life to lead his people out. Or, probably the best example is a man named Saul, who went after the church and the believers in Jesus Christ. And nobody wanted to be associated with that. He was dangerous, until he encountered Jesus Christ on the road to Damascus. And then God took Saul and made Paul. Oh, we could talk about more in the Old Testament, with Jacob the deceiver becoming Israel, the patriarch. We could talk about how Jesus called Simon the zealot right next to Matthew the tax collector, people that had no value until God grabbed a hold of them. And you know what? You're going to run into the same thing in your life. You're going to find people that you think have no value, but God has a plan for them. You're going to run into people in their worst moments, not realizing that what God is using them for is ahead. You might even run into people where God is going to use you to turn a Saul into a Paul, or to confront a David and remind him of his birthright and his anointing. Or even someone like Aaron, whose job was just to hold Moses' hands up and to serve as a priest to him. You don't know. But I can tell you, every person you pass in your life is somebody that God put there for a reason. And so today, I know there are people you're going to look at and say, you are a weed. And there are people that you're going to look at and say, well, you're my people. We should be set aside. But the reality is Jesus sends you into this world to call, to point the way to the cross, to show an empty tomb, to celebrate that our Redeemer lives, to live lives filled with sharing joy and giving hope. Why? Because the Lord of the harvest makes the decision at the end, not us. And He's already told us the standard, Jesus Christ. And He's already said that standard has been given to you. So live. Live as a chosen and redeemed child of God. Live as one in hope, with joy, to the world, everyone around you.